Welcome to our journey on the Peron Peninsula, home to the stunning Shark Bay World Heritage Site. Initially, we thought it had just a few highlights: an artesian hot tub, striking red sandstone cliffs, the Thorny Devil, and the famous dolphins of Monkey Mire. But in this episode, we're diving deep into the true beauty of the peninsula and uncovering its unique natural wonders. Ever wonder why it's called Shark Bay? We'll reveal the spectacular reason on Dirk Hartog Island that's almost too incredible to believe. And what's the connection between 1616 AD and Australia? We'll also touch on the fascinating geology of the region. Join us as we explore the Peron Peninsula and discover its hidden treasures. We're at Goldett Bluff, Denham Bay, at a 24-hour camp run by the Shark Bay Shire. We're waiting here to go into the Shark Bay Caravan Park today. This is 24 hours, so we arrived at 2 o'clock yesterday, so I intend to stay here till at least 1:30. We're not very far from Denham at all. But anyway, it's spectacular this morning. Having arrived yesterday in gale force howling winds and snuggling into the van last night in the same gale force howling winds, this morning is just stunning. It's such a pretty landscape. And so here it is. The Peron Peninsula landscape tells an ancient story. Erosion from the Kennedy Ranges created layers of deep red sandstone, while bleached seashells turned into the fine sands forming the Tamala sandstone. Where these elements meet, they form the iconic cliffs of the Francois Peron National Park, marked by their striking rise from the sea and wind-sculptured formations, while the white sand has shaped stunning sand dunes. Have you ever heard of Viridis? I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Neither had I, until I visited the Peron Peninsula. These ancient dry gypsum lakes rarely hold water due to the region's arid climate, but after a big rain, water pools on their edges. Its contemporary climate and underlying geology features a mix of plants and wildlife from both arid and temperate regions. Francois Peron National Park is wild, and the first 5 kilometres of a deep sanded track finally defeated our resolve to drive to the iconic red cliffs at Cape Peron. Instead, we wandered the pretty water's edge of South Gregory, taking in the magic of the park's contrasting colour palette. A day earlier, we explored the old sheep station and enjoyed wandering through the buildings, imagining the noise of the shearing shed. As we journeyed along the coast, we visited the Peron Peninsula near Karratha. There we explored an extraordinary site filled with Aboriginal rock engravings, and were intrigued to find petroglyphs of early galleons, sailing ships from the past. Connecting the dots, we were amazed to learn that Shark Bay was visited by a 17th century Dutch explorer who left behind an engraved pewter plate proclaiming, "I was here in 1616. The island where the plate was discovered bears his name. Keen to visit Dirk Hartog Island, but knowing we weren't up for the long drive on challenging gravel roads, we booked a day tour, where you take a leisurely boat ride from Denham and get to explore some of the island by four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
How gorgeous is this? There are bonuses. There's gin tasting and a delicious lunch. This is really sweet.
So these are our 3 gins here. All the botanicals are harvested on the island.
Black pearl, wild rose and native hibiscus. Now tell us about the black pearl. Cheers.
Cheers, piggies.
It's definitely the nicest gin I've tasted in a long time. Icing.
So we've got to get chicken.
Chicken, rissoles, wow, yummo. Oh goodness, I think the bread's a bit small.
One just for me. Just that small.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
The whole island. And he approached the government back then to try to ask them if they wanted to eradicate the feral animals and reintroduce the native Australian animals to like it was in 1616. You see whales out there everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go up. Sorry.
Our four-wheel drive tour took us to the rugged southern coast, where we stood in awe of a spectacular and thunderous blowhole. So about there, you reckon?
Yeah, so that's your blowhole there,
yeah.
and waves like this should give you a little bit of a spray.
From there, our guide led us to Surf Point to view the westernmost point of mainland Australia and its nearby Surf Point Marine Sanctuary. Wow, I've never seen so many sharks. Here we witnessed dark shadows gliding through the water, and at one point The surface seemed to boil as the shark feeding frenzy unfolded. Given just 10 minutes to launch our drone, I was stunned to see hundreds of sharks swimming below, most of them nervous sharks, after which the region is named. A lady on our tour yesterday made the comment that the trouble with Western Australia is that there's too much nothing in between the towns. Well, you know what, I disagree with that. That's certainly not been in my experience. There may be a whole lot of the same, but is there really? Western Australia has put on the most stunning wildflower display. It's met all my expectations and more. There is nothing in the landscape that I don't find interesting. It's ever-changing. Even places like the Peron Peninsula, where essentially it's just low shrub. It looks like little green bubbles all over the landscape, marked with different types of flowers and those clay pans. Ron's been doing all the hard work. He's been the one doing all the driving. He's been letting me do a lot of my photography, and I really appreciate that. Well, Western Australia, I have to say that I do really love you. I think you are just as I expected. Gorgeous. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. Press the like button and leave a comment.